Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. We're here today with day number 4 of Junk Journal July, and the focus is tickets and tags. So I got to thinking about this. I'm thinking about tickets and tags. So I thought about, what if you made a tag that was sort of an interactive tag that had tickets at the bottom? Maybe it was like an advertisement for an interesting show, and it was like tickets for 2 on this tag, and you could tear them off the bottom and you would go to this magical show. So I also wanted to use up some things that I've had in my studio for a while, which are these pre-made tags that I got, I think, from Amazon quite some time ago. I do like them a lot, but I'm always looking to kind of use up a little bit of everything so it doesn't hang around for too long. And then I have this stamp here, and I want to use the 1 and the 2 for my numbers for my tags, I think. I mean, or I may give them bigger numbers, we'll see. But I'll set that aside. So then I have printed out these semi-surreal kind of images, and I used this paper that I got thrifting. It was like for gardening or something. It had like a garden kind of theme to it, but I like the brown flecky kind of paper. I thought it was kind of neat. And yeah, okay, so we're going to first measure this and see what we have to work with here. So I think the width is fine, but this is more about the importance of the length. So what we have is roughly 7 inches, but I think I want my image to be, yeah, 7 inches actually, because I want to use a part of the image to be on the ticket itself. So let's get this out here. Let's see. Maybe I'll do 1 page at a time. Sometimes I get a little too brave, and then things can go a little awry. Okay. So these images are about 7.5. So we need to get rid of about 1/2 inch. I'm going to take a little off the top here. And then a little off the bottom. And what I need to think about as I'm doing this is if there's something interesting at the top or the bottom that I both don't want to lose, and for the bottom I wouldn't want to use on the ticket portion of this, then I have to think about that. One edge of this a little more, I think. That's good. Good. And this one can be clipped a little more. Okay. Now this one I need to take apart before I cut, because I feel like this image, I'm not going to want to trim any off the top because I don't want to lose the house. Here I'm good to go to 7 inches. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we'll go from the bottom on this one too. All right. Now, this is where things get a little more interesting. So, I guess I want my black soot ink to go around the edge of all of these tags like this, because I just think it's going to give a nicer finish to the look of the image. So I'll just do the first one here, both sides. Okay, and this, I think we have to line it right up to the bottom. So then I need to decide, do I want to change the color of the background tag at all? I think I do. I think I want to spray it with something to give it a similar color to what the image is here. So I'm going to go get a few sprays and I'll be right back. All right, we are back, and for those of you who've been here for a while, you will recognize the grunge box. So I have grabbed a couple of sprays that I've made myself with old Pantone markers that don't work anymore. I like using up the nibs from the inside, and then I also have some Tim Holtz Distress Oxide spray in Pine Needles, which is like a nice kind of bluey green, like a spruce type color. So that's the color theme I'm going to use for these, and I decided I might as well wait to ink all these up until after I've sprayed them. I also have my coffee here in this bottle, and so I'm going to start with a bit of, on the background, this green marker spray, and it's kind of like a yellowy green or a gold green, and then I'll add a little background blue as well. And this one has a pretty, what's the word? It's not as a spray as much as a splat, which is interesting. Then I'll go in with the Distress Oxide spray. Now, I'm primarily focusing around the edges and looking at what they'll look like, because that's the only part of this that you're going to see. You're not going to see the inside. Now I'll just hit it with some coffee. Not a lot, just 2 spritzes per tag. And then this just needs to dry. So I will take a pause. I'll do the other 6, and then I will black ink around the edges, and then I'll come back. Everything is now all inked up, and the spraying is done. Everything is dried on back, and I like how the back looks. If you're going to have a grunge box, try to keep the same one for a while, because you'll reactivate fun things that you've done before, and it will get on the back of whatever you're doing. And I personally love that, because it's like you get these unexpected fun. Some of these picked up like little bits of, where is it? Like little bits of pink at the bottom here, just a tiny little bit. Okay, anyways, now we can go ahead with our images. So I am going to probably, am I going to stitch these? Let me think. Am I going to stitch them? So what I want to do with the image, okay, so it's going to go right to the bottom here and line up at the bottom. Then what I'm going to do is create stitching holes across here and here to make like 2 tickets. No thread in my sewing machine, just to make the holes so they'd be like something you could pull off, even though you probably wouldn't in the context of what we're doing. This is just decorative. And then I'm going to stamp the 2 of them like a ticket. So I probably won't want to, once I've done that, I probably won't want to stitch that. Let's not. I'm such a stitchaholic here that I'm so used to stitching most things. I'm just a stitchy person. I like to stitch everything, but I don't need to. So we'll just glue this on. Be generous with the glue. And then we just line it up with the center, pretty much eyeball, and all the way to the bottom. give it a nice firm press around the edges. Okay, that's one. So it's a lovelier day here today. Yesterday was very hot, very smoky. The air quality is still not wonderful, but today we've had some rain, and so the air quality said that it was moderate. Yesterday was unhealthy, so I will take moderate for sure. It's tough because I have asthma, and I have only one real trigger for asthma. Oh, how did that get too long? That's okay, we can fix that. Every now and then I become a genius of measuring. We'll see here. There we go. So I'll just go to the bottom. Try to keep that straight though. Okay. But yeah, we had rain, and it's a lot cooler today. And the air this morning was like not so bad. I think it was at like 94 or something, which is moderate on the AQI. But yeah, it was unhealthy yesterday. It was like 154, I think. I mean, I'm seeing places that are a lot higher than that too. So, and I mean, that's outside of the zone of the fires. But there's a lot of Canada burning, and I really, really don't like that. Especially in Quebec, which is one of my favorite places in all of Canada. I mean, there's a lot of Canada that I like, but Quebec is a place that I often spend a lot of time. It's a place I've considered moving. And there are just so many acres and acres of woods and lakes, and it's wonderful. But sadly, more hectares than ever have burned this year, and last year it was the same. They had so many fires last year that it basically broke the record from like 1987 with the most amount of forest fires or something, or hectares that have burned. So I really hope that it stops. I was also kind of frustrated to see that people were doing silly fireworks, which I'm not a fan of fireworks, period. Yesterday, there were some people doing fireworks. I think anywhere that is severely irresponsible, considering both they're a fire hazard, and we've had drought conditions, as well as they're like very smoky, and you know, we've got unhealthy air to begin with, like. And the fact that they terrorize wildlife and veterans, so it's a pretty annoying and insensitive joy for a lot of people, I think. I don't know. Like, my kids clearly love to go to fireworks and stuff. Not all children do. A lot of children have sensory issues with them because they are quite loud and sudden, and it's another reason that I don't really like them, because a lot of little ones get very hurt by them when they have sensory issues, and we have to care about people who are neurodivergent just as much as we care about everyone else, right? So we live in a city where there's a lot of South Asian folks, and they love fireworks for Diwali festival. And I mean, it's really nice to walk around the community, and like last year we did that. We walked around the community and enjoyed Diwali with all of our neighbors, and I loved it from a community and cultural aspect, and I love the message of Diwali, like the festival of light, and everything is new and fresh, and it's like, you know, a new beginning, and I love all of that. But I have to say, it honestly looked, felt, and smelled like a war zone. I mean, you could not see about 5 feet in front of you from all of the smoke, because, like I said, there's a large population of people that are celebrating that holiday, and they do it with fireworks and sparklers outside, and it was a lot. And as much fun as I was having, I did have to go home because I couldn't breathe. And next day or two, a lot of folks were talking about like how, you know, what a problem it was, although frustratingly enough, you never see the same kind of conversation on Canada Day. So I get a little annoyed that it only seems to crop up when it's somebody else's cultural practices being attacked. But regardless of what it is, I think fireworks are always like a bad idea. But in my hometown, they did a lit up drone kind of thing, and that was kind of cool. Okay, so we've got all of these images on here, and I think that they look like really fun. So now I think what I would like to do is add a little titch here and there of gilding wax. So I'm just going to grab my gilding wax here. Pardon my arm. And I'm just going to sort of focus on one piece at a time. Bring this up here. Just with my finger, I'm just rubbing a little gilding wax. If there's any creases and stuff, I'll accentuate those. I love to accentuate creases and things. This one, I want to add a little right on top of the image because it has these lines in it that I thought were my printer. You know, when sometimes your printer prints a little funny, and you get those lines and you have to clean your printer heads, but it's not, it's actually the image itself, so we're okay. I do need to probably clean those printer heads anyways, and I will, but not today, not right now. Okay, a little gold. And then here I want to put some down here because I missed a little bit with the spray, so we'll hide that behind the gilding wax. And I think it's nice because it kind of breaks up the hard line between these to have this kind of treatment across both images, or both textures rather, not images. Okay. All right, that's good. Maybe I'll just use up this last little bit of wax that's hanging around on my fingers. There we go. So now, what is next? Okay, so now I think we need to turn these into having tickets at the bottom. So again, I'm going to just kind of go over with you quickly what I want to do. You'll see it after I stitch it. I don't like stitching on camera because I have to lug my machine over here. So approximately this much of this I'm going to make into 2 tickets, okay? So I'm going to take the sewing machine out of my machine, and so I'm just going to be using it to bop holes. You could also do that with one of those rolling hole puncher things for like marking like darts and stuff, but I don't know where mine is. So I'm going to use my sewing machine. So I'm going to stitch across here. Then after I've got that line, I'm going to stitch in the middle to just create a divide so that then we'll have 2 tickets, okay? And then from there I can decide if I also would want to indent the sides in some way here. So I have an idea for that. I will be right back. Okay, so you can see the holes here. They've been punched. I think they look really cute. Now what I'm going to do next is I have this little bitty brush, and I'm just going to get my black soot, use my little bitty brush to just kind of accentuate these a little bit if I can. I might actually use, I find this thing works a little more than the brush. We'll see if this really makes a difference. A little bit, yeah. Okay. So just accentuate. Could also do this with gilding wax if you want, but I like the grunginess of the black. Okay, there we go. then I was thinking about, you know, tickets usually have some kind of a tab like on the sides, right? Like they're punched out or something. So I'm thinking it might be kind of cool to do that on the sides at the bottom. Let's try with one and see how we like that. Oh, I do like that. I think that's cool. And then I'll just go over it in black ink. Yes. Okay, so let's do that for all of them. And this is just a circle punch that I'm using to just take like a third of a circle. I'm really only punching the tag, not onto the image. So, okay, get rid of all these scrappy bits here. 2 of which somehow flew right down my shirt. Behind the scenes here at Studioloo. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna ink these little thumb tabs. Okay, so now we need to do the number stamping. So let's put them all back over here in the unprocessed kind of side, my little assembly line of 6 here. Okay, so I'll get my ink, I'll get my 1 and my 2. Should I do like mix up numbers or just 1 and 2? I think for this purpose of this video, I'll keep it simple with 1 and 2. Maybe, is this 1 stamp? Yeah, apparently. Who says? Who says this is 1 stamp? I didn't say that. Therefore, snippety snippety. We do what we want in our class here, right? Okay. Now we've got 1, 2. So let's start with 1. It's right side up. Yeah, I'm just going to put it on here. Set this one aside for a moment. Okay. How do I... Yeah, I need that to go this way. Make sure it's straight. Although, there we go. Open the ink, and I'm going to move it onto this side and put these up here. Okay. One. You can kind of play with whatever positioning you like. Might also be kind of cool if we had a white ink. Do they make white ink? I guess they probably do. I don't have any. But that would be fun. Now our 2. I need to move this to this side. There we go. Okay. So now these are stamped and we have the 1 and the 2. So I think that that is a day. That is a video. So tickets, tags together, these are ticket tags. I hope you enjoyed playing along with me here. I think this was a lot of fun as a project, and I will see you tomorrow for more Junk Journal July. Bye for now.